Hello, kindred spirits who cherish beauty. Today, we are not traveling to an ordinary royal palace. We are journeying to the very edge of the world, to a place where land and sea merge, where the boundary between reality and paradise becomes breathtakingly thin. Welcome to Mont Saint-Michel, the jewel of France, a solitary fortress standing proud and defiant in the heart of the ocean. Imagine yourself in the 19th century, on a refined excursion reserved for the aristocratic elite. Before your eyes is no mirage, but a colossal mass of granite rising straight from the sea, crowned by a magnificent Gothic abbey like a celestial diadem. Do you hear the wind? And beyond it, the distant roar of the ocean? Here, the tide is the true sovereign. It is said that the tides of Mont Saint-Michel surge with the speed of a galloping horse, transforming this island into a completely isolated sanctuary within mere minutes. It is a beauty both dazzling and perilous, a place whose magnetic power has drawn millions of pilgrims, travelers, and dreamers for more than 1,000 years. Legend tells us that in the year 708, the Archangel Michael appeared in a dream to Bishop Aubert, commanding him to build a sanctuary upon this rock. From a humble cave, through centuries of relentless labor by fearless stone masons, the site evolved into La Merveille, the marvel. Look closely at its architecture, a masterpiece of divine order and human genius. The structure rises in a pyramidal ascent. At its base lie the houses of townspeople, sheltering pilgrims and merchants from the tides. Above them are the grand halls once reserved for knights and noble guests. And at the summit, closest to the heavens, stand the abbey and the dwelling place of God. To build such a monument amid shifting sands and treacherous waters, stones weighing several tons were hauled from the mainland, dragged across deadly tidal flats. This was more than architecture. It was humanity daring to challenge nature itself. A proclamation of faith standing firm against the infinite sea. Now, walk with me alongside elegant gentlemen and ladies, draped in crimson velvet and shimmering gold silk, as we pass through the King's Gate. The main street, La Grande Rue, unfolds before us, lively, narrow, and richly textured with life. Though a sacred place, Mont Saint-Michel was never devoid of luxury. The scent of freshly baked bread drifts from enormous hearths. Silver souvenirs chime softly as they catch the light. Laughter and refined conversation echo along the steep stone slopes, where devotion and indulgence coexist in perfect balance. We begin our ascent up the seemingly endless staircase, Le Grand Degré. With each step, we rise farther from the earthly world, and closer to spiritual stillness. The sunlight here feels different, It reflects off the sea and dances upon ancient stone walls, creating a luminous, almost otherworldly glow. Aristocratic ladies pause to gather their flowing silk skirts, lifting their gaze toward the sharp Gothic arches piercing the sky. They have come not only to pray, but to be humbled, to feel small before the immensity of history. At last, we reach the summit. This is the Abbey, the beating heart of Mont Saint-Michel. Step quietly into the cloister. Are you surprised? Amidst dry stone and salty ocean winds, there exists a garden of perfect calm, lush, enclosed, and serenely silent. This is the only place on the island where the view turns away from the sea, and instead lifts upward toward the sky. A space created not for watching the world, but for contemplating eternity. Next, we enter the refectory. Observe how the light flows within. Tall, narrow windows are precisely positioned to bathe the hall in soft illumination without harsh glare. The atmosphere is sacred, restrained, and deeply contemplative. During the 100 Years' War, Mont Saint-Michel stood as the only fortress in northern and western France, never conquered by English forces. Its formidable walls, and its perilous position amid the tides, made it invincible. It became a symbol of courage, resistance, and unyielding spirit. Yet even the most radiant beauty carries shadows. After the French Revolution, the abbey was stripped of its sacred purpose and transformed into a prison. Magnificent halls became cells of confinement. Monks were exiled, replaced by political prisoners. Once known as a gateway to heaven, the island earned a grim new name: the Bastille of the Sea. The tides that once protected it became natural iron bars, rendering escape impossible. And yet, it is this very isolation that gives Mont Saint-Michel its tragic grandeur. When night falls, when the last visitors depart, the island returns to its primal silence. Only the wind howls through watchtowers. Only waves strike the rock below. Oil lamps flicker to life, transforming the island into a colossal lantern, floating upon the darkened sea. A beauty that is somber yet sublime, one that stirs the soul of all who behold it. Today, Mont Saint-Michel stands restored, a treasured heritage of humanity. It reminds us of the power of faith, the extraordinary capabilities of humankind, and a beauty that endures, despite time, tides, and turmoil. As the sun sinks beyond the horizon, painting both sky and sea in shades of crimson and gold, the statue of the Archangel Michael atop the highest spire still gleams, sword and scales in hand, eternally guarding the peace of these sacred waters. Thank you for joining me on this emotional journey through time. May the images and the ocean's song have washed away your weariness and gifted you a moment of calm and wonder. If you enjoyed this cinematic voyage, remember to subscribe so we may continue exploring the world's most breathtaking wonders together. Until our next journey, farewell, and travel in beauty.